Hi everybody, welcome and welcome back. It's me, Chameleon Girl Gina, and I'm excited to tell you guys, is this my first video since I turned 50? I think it may be. So I turned 50 on January 18th, and I think this is the first video since then. But anyway, I feel really blessed to have made it to 50. I know a lot of people who didn't make it to 20. So 5 years old, so at the end of the day, every day is a blessing that God gives you to be here. So I just wanted to say that, and I thank you guys for tuning in and supporting my channel so that we could really grow. It really encourages me to want to give more of me as far as my recipes and my ideals, and just a lot to do that we can make things different, turn things up, and go outside the box, and then also be simplistic with the recipes. That's how I like them on my channel, to where most things are easy access for you to cook and make some delicious food. So that really goes out to people who are new to my channel. In the meantime, today we're going to make some chicken fried steak. So we have 6 chicken fried steak. 6 cube steaks. That's what it's going to be labeled as. We're going to turn this into chicken fried steak, and it's going to be so fire. So with that being said, you're going to need a plenty of seasonings, honey. So I'm going to use some garlic powder, some onion powder, some paprika, only for color, some black pepper, and some Morton seasonal. This is something that, yeah, I like it. I do like it. But anyway, we're also going to use a little bit of Lowry's, and we're going to use a little bit of accent and probably more. So that's why it's just, let's go along together. So let's go ahead and get started on this deliciousness so that you guys can add this to your recipes that, your family going to love. Okay, let's get started. All right, guys. So the first things first, we're going to start to get in the seasoning. Now, what I want you guys to do is something that I don't think I've ever just really focused in on, to make sure to tell you guys this. Pay attention to how I put the seasoning on. Not that I'm putting it on, because the seasoning is going to spread out better and do a lot better if you focus some of it in the middle. Then there are some of the seasonings that we'll use, and we'll sprinkle it all over the whole thing. So more stuff that is on the side where it has sodium, like this Morton seasonal, we want to isolate this just a little bit to the middle. And especially on that little piece right there, right? We're going to layer these flavors, okay? So just pay attention. And try it at home is the moral of the story. So I got some onion powder. Now this goes all over it. We're kind of heavy on that. Not extra heavy, but we're sprinkling along where it's visible. We can see it coming to life. Now we'll go ahead and do a little paprika. Paprika is just for taste, so it doesn't really matter how much you use, but ain't no sense of wasting it, baby, because paprika and stuff be costing nowadays. It's high. Then we'll put some black pepper. What's up? Oh. Then we'll put some black pepper on there. And I'm being generous with it, right? And did I put some accent on the side? Let me see. No, I didn't. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of accent. I may have. No, I didn't. There. So this goes all over the entire piece of meat, but not heavy, because you want to hold your seasoning upright, and then while you're sprinkling, so it doesn't just pour out onto your food where you have no control. And so then anyway, of course, you flip it over. And you're going to do something different. Okay, so now you have them flipped over, right? So we're going to use different seasonings on this side, because when a person bites into something, you know, and it could be tasting bomb, but then when you start realizing that there's different flavors in there, like if you was to spray perfume, and then all of a sudden you can smell the different notes, like it has a little this or a little that. Well, this is how this meat is going to be. So on this side, instead of onion, we're going to use some garlic powder. And we're not going to use it sparingly. We're going to be generous with it. Now, we're going to use the sodium, which this time it's going to be Lowry seasoned salt. We're not using the Morton's, but you want to concentrate it to the middle for the most part. Okay, and then, let's see, we want some black pepper. Plenty. I like a lot of black pepper. Some people do not like black pepper, so whenever you see these recipes all online and stuff, you know, like if you know you don't like pepper, or you know you don't like some certain thing, then at that point, it's like, you could not use that in your recipe, and your recipe will still be good. Or you could use something in place of it. But needless to say, the next thing that we're going to do is get these all floured up and ready to fry up so that we can solder them. Okay guys, so I have just a little bit of flour in here. I mean, probably about a half a cup, if that. And then in here, I'm just going to add a little bit of accent, a little black pepper. I mean, we're not going overboard with this stuff, right? Because it's not necessary. We're just doing this for to make the gravy. And then you're going to use some paprika for sure. You're going to definitely get some of that in there. We're going to use some garlic powder. Seasonal. And Lowry's. So we're kind of like using everything in there. And we're just going to combine that flour with the whisk. Now, we're not going to put no egg or anything in this, because that's not what the recipe calls for. We're going to do it a little bit different than maybe what I do sometimes. Sometimes I do it a different way. Today, we're going to do it a whole nother way. A way that I like to do it. And we're just going to take a little bit of flour and just sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. We're going to make it a little more simpler today, but a bomb. So stay to the end so you can see the outcome, or fast forward and get the parts you need, baby. So we have floured up our cube steak. And now what we're going to do is just kind of fry it up and move on to the next steps. Okay guys, so we're gonna go ahead and drop these over here. And as you guys may see, they look a little bit sticky instead of real floury. Well, that's a good thing because it's causing the flour to adhere better. We're gonna heat up, but this is the one that's getting right where we want it to be. We see the goldenness already as we flip one of them. Let's see what the other ones are doing. Yeah, and so this flour is going to help to tenderize this meat. So you have it done relatively quickly. Okay guys, so now we're going to go ahead and pull our chicken fried steak up out of here. We don't want to strain it or drain it. We're just going to pull it out and let the juices go into the plate. And we're going to pull ones out over here too. We're not really going to be focusing on this skillet. Like that, we're going to use this other one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make use of what we need to make use of. So we're going to take this flour here that we use, the seasoned flour, and we're going to scrape it. We're going to turn this cast iron up a little bit actually. And we're going to scrape this into the cast iron, a nice amount of it. So this will end up being about 2.5, probably 2.5 tablespoons is what we're looking at right here, of flour. So either way, even if you don't have seasoned flour or you didn't do it exactly this way, which I prefer for you to, so you have the same outcome of deliciousness. Okay, but in the meantime, we go ahead and we put that in there, and then we just kind of turn that up because we want it going pretty high. We're going to take this and we're now going to whisk it right on in there. We're going to let that flour cook right out of there. And while we're doing that, we're actually going to go ahead and we're going to grab a little bit of water. Alright guys, so I have about 5 cups of water. And I'm going to come back over here and we're going to have my daughter pass me a pack of brown gravy. This makes 2 cups of gravy. But anyway, we're going to add this because we want to add a color and that brown gravy flavor. But we're also doing it naturally. So you just doing everything. You're doing the most right now with this meal. So your family's real happy with you. Like, oh, nom, nom, nom. Okay, so we got several cups of water here. We got about 5 cups. So we're gonna start with 5 cups. It looks like is what we're gonna be using of water. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. Now, because everything is cooked in here, we're allowed to taste it. So let's just dip our finger in it. It's not what I'm looking for. So guys, you're just gonna let that, of course, bubble. And you're gonna add a bunch of paprika. Oops, that was chili powder. It's like, but anyway, I want a little onion powder in there. Teaspoon and a half. I want a little garlic powder in there. Teaspoon and a half. Now, I will let it bubble a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and put my meat on back in there, add my onions and mushrooms, and paprika. We're going to be done with this. Okay, guys, so we got it a nice bubble. We're going to go ahead and just give it one more stir, because you want this smooth. You want this to look like mine, nice and smooth. You don't want it all. And right at this point, it does not need to be thick gravy because it is going to reduce when we pop it into the oven. So we're going to turn that to the off position. And we're just going to put our meat on in there like there. And I think there. Here. Here and here. And this ain't the only way that I personally make chicken fried steak. I also sometimes use hamburger and make mine. And some people call it smothered hamburger patties, but I just call it chicken fried steak. So to each their own. And then I just take the juices off of there. And I just let them go in there. So all that is your flavor. Okay guys, so now we're like I said at a bubble. And we're just going to go ahead and put our onions in there. And break them up. And I like to use white and yellow. They offer up 2 different flavors, which is always good. So that your mouth just, oh gosh, you know, your teeth could just sink all up in it and it'd just be so good. And then of course, sometimes I like mushrooms. Thank goodness my family does. So we're gonna put some mushrooms. Yeah, we're gonna also put a little more black pepper because we have these vegetables that we want to have some kind of a flavor to them. And we'll put just a dab, just a real dot of mayonnaise there. 3/4 teaspoon. We're gonna cover this up real tight with some foil right now. And when I say cover it real tight, just make sure that no air can get in there. This ain't no real good foil, but anyway, if you want to cover it, just make sure you don't get no air. None should go in there. No air, no air. I'm not being aggressive. Now off to the oven it goes. 350 degrees for 45 minutes. Okay guys, so now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take out my chicken fried steak out of the oven. It's been in for about, what, 50 minutes? And so anyway, it is nice and it is cooked. And during the cooking process, I didn't, like remove the foil or anything, check on it. But let's go ahead and check on it right now. Okay guys, yeah, so you can see how good that looks. And that gravy is perfecto. So I'm gonna make my husband's plate so he can come and taste this and he can give his honest reaction. And then we'll see which one is my husband's place. Oh, look at that. It's really good and it is tender. Get some of that gravy in there. In the well. Yes. And on that meat. Woo, I'm getting burnt, I'm getting burnt. That plate. So good. Okay, we're gonna have my husband. He gonna have to taste it. So somebody do. Alright, so let's do that. Here you goes the fork and everything, sir.
Let me go ahead and look at them. Nice and creamy mashed potatoes.
Yeah, third. That is homemade gravy. How's that?
It's really, really, really good. Oh, well, you don't even need a knife on this. I just use a knife just to hold it in place. The one part really good. Let's try get some onion here. Get some mushrooms with this. Wow.
Hot? Too hot. So taste okay, baby?
That is delicious. Everybody follow this recipe. Subscribe and like. Hungry Grub.
Okay guys, so we had our taste tester. This food has came out good. I could see it, I could smell it, and now I'm gonna taste it. So God bless you guys. And do me a big favor, like, comment, share, and subscribe.